Yeah, fired up, man. It's been a great 10, 12 days or so. Really worked on some things in the off week, hopefully to perform better down the stretch. You know, we're calling this our second season, kind of a regroup at the right time. We've played a tough schedule. That's all been noted with Memphis, Tulane, Navy, and New Mexico State. Those are the teams we've lost to. They're combined 19-3. So certainly looking forward to the back half of our schedule. Pretty healthy, getting some guys back. Gave them Friday and Saturday off, so it was good to get away from everybody for a couple days. We've been going at this thing since about July 10th, so that's 3 months straight of being around the same people every day, and we needed a break. We did practice twice last week on East Carolina for 2 hours in shells and got some really good work in. Did a walkthrough and lift and meetings last night, and we'll have another practice tonight, which is like our Wednesday. And then walk through Tuesday and fast Friday on Wednesday and get on the plane and go play Thursday night. Really looking forward to watching our guys perform. I think we're going to be the freshest team. I've challenged them to be the freshest team. I want to play like a bunch of werewolves down the stretch here. We got 6 games left. I have no doubt in my mind we can win all 6 games. If we play well and take care of the football, create some turnovers. We evaluated a lot of things in our offense and defense that we're doing well and things we got to get better at. As we close the season, we are absolutely fired up to finish strong. Certainly looking forward to a great opponent, probably the best one left on our schedule. Thursday night at East Carolina. What a great place to play. What a great venue for college football. The weather's going to be perfect. It's a great college town. I know that stadium's going to be rocking. I've coached there before, and it's a great place, man, and got a lot of respect for Coach Harrell. Blake's done an unbelievable job hiring. I think he's a terrific motivator. You can tell when he got the job halfway through the year last year, they played completely different. And they're playing really hard right now and fast, and they're confident. He's hired 2 great coordinators, John David Baker and Josh Aldridge, who got a lot of respect for those guys. I think, John David's a really good offensive coach. He's been around Coach Kiffin, kind of played FCS quarterback and kind of earned his way through the ranks and put his time in. Now he's become a great coordinator, does an awesome job. They throw the ball around, senior quarterback, good team, good offense. And then Josh Aldridge, same thing, worked his way up, been in the SEC and all the way from Harding University D2, and worked his way through the ranks. I think he's a great recruiter, great coach, does a really good job defensively. So Blake's hired 2 great coordinators. I think they're struggling a little bit in the kicking game right now. So hopefully we can take some advantage of some of those things. But really looking forward to the challenge. I'm excited to go to war with our guys and put on a good show Thursday night on a national stage. Questions?
In your mind, what was the most important thing that you accomplished with this extra time off?
I think we got our legs back. Probably the most important thing. We're fresh. We evaluated the roster, the future of the roster, met with pretty much every player on the team. As a head coach, position coach, coordinator, strength coach on Monday, Tuesday last week, and just talked about their future, how we envision them finishing the year, how we envision their plan in our program moving forward. Evaluated where our deficiencies are, where do we need to go get players next year, because we've played the best teams, right? We've played Memphis, Tulane, and Navy, who are the top 3 teams in the league right now. So we've seen it with our own 2 eyes of what it looks like, where we're deficient, where we can get better. So we had a lot of conversation in the first 2 days of the off week as a staff and as a program of how we can get better. I mean, it's our job. We got to get better. How can we finish this year with a positive note and make a bowl game and play well down the stretch and win these last 6? I think they're all winnable. But we also looked internally at some things we're doing offensively and defensively and special teams. Where have we had unanticipated success? How can we lean on that success? Where have we had unanticipated weaknesses? How can we avoid those and hide those in our last 6 games? But I think the most important thing we did, to answer your question, was make sure our guys are fresh. I want to make sure we are the freshest team the last 6 weeks.
Do you expect that your 5 starting offensive linemen will play Thursday?
I do. I think Cam East will be back. I think he'll be back full go. I would envision him splitting some reps with Brody Duffel, and then all 5 guys should be back up front. We get everybody back at receiver. We should be healthy there, other than Mekhi Miller, who's still redshirting. But other than that, we should be as healthy as we've been since I got here in January.
Are you going to tell us who's going to start at
Yeah,
quarterback?
Baylor Hayes. Yep, he'll be the guy. After evaluating the 6 games they both played in, Baylor's turning it over less, moving the ball better, gives us an element with his legs. He's going to be the guy. Look forward to watching him play.
What are some, maybe specifically, not specifically, some of the things that you've worked on offensively, and where do you think the disconnect has been between you guys moving the ball but not being able to score?
Yeah, we're lacking explosive plays, particularly at wide receiver. When we get explosive plays, we score touchdowns. We've got way too many 12, 13, 14 play drives that end in 3 points or no points, and that's a hard way to make a living. You ask any defensive coordinator in the country, they're going to be, if they play us, they're going to say, hey, we're going to make them earn it. You make them go 4 yards a play and see if they screw it up. And against good opponents, Memphis, we screwed it up. Against Tulane late in the second half, we couldn't block them. We screwed it up. But in the games we have scored points, and look, I know where our stats say we are. I don't think we're quite that bad because of who we've played. But we absolutely have to find a way to score 28, 30 points in these last 6 games, period. And I think establishing identity is important. We've kind of been a little grab baggy schematically, putting in a concept here that we think is going to work, putting in a concept here. Let's just do what we know. Let our players go play and see if we can play faster and play better down the stretch, particularly at outside receiver and quarterback. I mean, it's been the passing game that's been the big lacking of the explosive plays. And let's run the patterns we know the best that we've been repping since the beginning I got here, and let's make sure we're getting the ball to the right guys. I think getting the right 5 guys on the field at skill positions is going to be a point of emphasis.
Baylor Hayes has struggled getting it to guys down the field some in the time that he's been in there. What did you see specifically about him when you evaluated those games that you liked best to put him in this position to start down the stretch?
I think just to making the plays off schedule. I mean, the 72-yard touchdown to Brody was an off-schedule play that Kirk doesn't make. You play Memphis and they're dropping 8. Not a whole lot there. So you got to have a quarterback who can scramble and make some plays. You look at the explosive plays. He had a long run against Tulane, had a long run against Navy. He created some plays with his legs that we were missing. And when you're not great, I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. We're not the most talented team in this league, and it's not close. You got to have that playmaking ability at quarterback. Kirk is a great player. Kirk could be great, and I'm not giving up on him. He needs great people around him. He needs great protection. He needs a great run game. He needs great wideouts to win one-on-one matchups. We don't have that right now. We just don't. So our best chance is to put 10 in the game, let him grow up in front of our eyes, and provide us the spark that we need. And his energy has been contagious. I love his leadership skills. I'm excited to watch him go be aggressive and compete.
I think everyone has conceded that the schedule is easier down the stretch. It was also easier down the stretch last year, and they won 1 game. What do you feel like makes this team capable of taking advantage of the easier schedule down the stretch?
I think we're together. I think our guys really care about each other. I think this team loves one another. We're very competitive in practice. I just like where our heart's at. I really do. And, you're coaching college football. You're motivating 18 to 22-year-olds, and they're motivated. And I can see it in their eyes. I can see it in the locker room. I can see it at practice. I can see it in meetings. They want to win. And I can't speak for what happened last year. I wasn't here, but I know this team's motivated to play well and motivated to believe in what we're doing. We don't have many seniors that are just kind of checking out. Everybody's locked in. The coaches are motivated, and we're going to entertain some people down the stretch.
You had 2 coaches who were on your schedule who got fired yesterday. I did see that your dad commented on social media that he's concerned that those things might trickle down to high school level where people aren't getting $40 million buyouts as well. Do you have any thoughts on those transactions on your schedule?
Yeah, it is what it is. We signed up for this business. It's a production business, entertainment business. If you don't get it done, you're going to get fired. It's part of it. I understand what we signed up for. I can't speak about what decisions the athletic directors or presidents made against teams in our schedule. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing. Sometimes you may get a team that's unmotivated, and sometimes you may get a team that's really motivated. So we'll see how those 2 teams perform down the stretch. I will say, everybody looks at these buyouts and sees, oh, my gosh, being a fired coach is the best thing in the business. Well, nobody understands that there's 60 staff members that don't have contracts and have families and got to move and pull kids out in the middle of the year, and it's a hard life for a coach's wife and a coach's family. And but yeah, the buyouts are great for the head coach, but what about the defensive analyst who doesn't have a contract? What about the GAs that just started their career? What about people that took a chance to go coach for Coach Franklin or coach other people in the industry that don't get anything, and they got to start over. So yeah, it's very lucrative for the fired head coach. For everybody else, it just downright sucks, and it's a hard way to live. But guess what? I wouldn't have it any other way. I couldn't imagine doing anything else with my life. I mean, I felt like I was born to do this. I love the challenge. I think about it every night and every day of how to score points and how to win games. And the competitiveness in me and the competitor in me loves it. And there's a challenge with every job. And I think we all signed up for that. And if you don't produce, you're going to get fired. Especially in today's day and age, coaches are getting fired for 2 years, 3 years. So you better get your roster right. You better make hard decisions. You better protect your program. And I feel like we're making great strides to do all those things.
Coach, you mentioned it earlier in regard to, Blake, coming up, earning it, all of his assistants kind of the same way. No blue bloods on their resume, Lenar, Ryan, and all of that sort of stuff on their resume. Is there a kindred spirit kind of amongst you guys that have made it up to this level that's a little different than somebody that came from a blue blood?
I think so. You're just appreciative of what you have, and it's the best job we've ever had, and we're going to treat it that way. And I know Blake's going to treat it that way. And the guy was defense coordinator at Lenore Ryan 8 years ago, and John David Baker played at maybe Stephen F. Austin or Tarleton State as a quarterback and earned his way through being a GA. And same with Josh. Josh was an All-American at Harding. Most people don't even know what that is. It's a D2 powerhouse, and he's earned his way through West Georgia and kind of finally start getting his breaks. And I just have appreciation for guys like that. I have an appreciation for guys that earn it, the Kirk Signettis of the world who took a D2 job at 49 years old at IUP and turned around that program. Then he goes to Elon, then James Madison, and now you see what he's doing on the biggest stage. I think sometimes coaches who are really good players are born on third base. And look, I was born on third base, but I feel like I've earned it through the ranks at being a head coach at a young age. But those kind of guys sometimes bother me. I would much rather go to war with guys who've earned it.
And in Greenville, you mentioned this as well. Atmosphere going to be great. Should be a huge crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday, again, on national TV.
Mm-hmm.
What's special about that? What makes that special?
You just don't have to – the motivation factors, you don't have to motivate them that much. I mean, when that plane lands Wednesday afternoon at 5 o'clock, and they see all the ECU fans in the college town and, knowing they're playing on ESPN in front of a lot of people, like, our guys are going to be ready to go. I have no question about that. And I think sometimes you're playing a day game in Philadelphia, and it's not on TV. It could be a problem. And people come here sometimes, and it's a little sleepy early in the game. A day game at home, you got to motivate young people to show up every day and every week, to not let the outside factors determine how they're going to play. But I have no doubt with this being on national TV, raucous crowd, I've played in that stadium, and it's going to be awesome. Looking forward to it.
Arguably, your best performance was on the same scenario on a Friday night in Stillwater, Oklahoma. How do you replicate that?
I hope it continues to show up. I think that experience is definitely gonna do well for us this week.
If you could anticipate some breakthrough young players that you're expecting, that you expect to step up in the last half of the season, could you point out a few that you would
Yeah, I think getting Micah Tees back, we looked at a lot of our explosive plays were to Micah Tees, and he missed a game with suspension, and he missed a game due to injury. So we really need him to play down the stretch and play well. He's a young player that we're really counting on. We're going to play a freshman, Kelvin Washington, at running back, try to give us a little more speed in there. He has not played at all. Tight ends are going to get some reps on special teams so they can still get their red shirt. Luke Tevis and Jackson Shockley, R.J. McIntosh, I would look for him to play a little bit. Young safety. These are all guys that are going to be starting for us next year. So, or playing critical snaps. And I told our staff we better get them ready down the stretch so they're not, wide-eyed and bushy-tailed next August when it's time to play ball. They need to have some banked reps. They need to be able to cover some kicks. They need to be able to get some touches so that they can get in the flow of what college football is like. So those are some names I would watch. We played a freshman at left guard last week, true freshman. Ian Mays got probably 30 snaps in that game. Wouldn't mind seeing him in there some, and I'd expect him to get some reps. But these are all guys who are going to help us in the future. And I'm all about winning right now and making a bowl game without question. That's what my sole focus is. But I do want to play some of these guys because now you can still get the red shirt with 4 games. So that's what we're going to do.
And about how many touches would you expect a guy like Washington to get?
I don't know, 5 or 6. Like see him play 20 plays or so, maybe some kick return, punt return. Just trying to get a little more speed on the field.
In your self-evaluation, going back over this time, were there elements that you are happy with? Like I think you're running like almost 74 plays per game. Is that right in the sweet spot? Is there a sweet spot in your opinion? Do you want more from that?
I care about points. That's the only thing that matters, and we're not scoring enough points against good people. So, plays are great, but I want points. Points matter. Points win. I think we're having unanticipated success on O-line and D-line. I think we're rushing the ball at a higher rate than I was expecting. I think the passing game has been a massive, massive letdown. Thought we'd be better there going into the season. Special teams have been terrific, other than a couple stupid mistakes at Memphis where we drop a ball on the 1-yard line and miss a field goal. Some unanticipated weaknesses right before the half. We've been awful. We've turned the ball over 12 times. 6 of those have come before the half. So you're probably going to see the head coach play a little more conservative the rest of the year before the half and try to come out with some momentum at halftime. We've been really good to start games. Our opening script has been really good. Other than Memphis, we went 3 and out twice in a row. But other than that, we've moved the ball in the first half pretty consistently. I think coming out of halftime, we got to be better, and then going into the half, we got to be better. We're really bad in the middle 8 right now, and it's cost us against good teams. Certainly having unanticipated success on defense. I think we're playing well enough on that side of the ball to keep us in games. We just need a little more explosion offensively, and that falls on me. I'm the head coach, play caller, and I work with the quarterbacks. So I point all the fingers at me. I'll get that fixed. I do think helping playing some lesser defenses, maybe not necessarily this week because this is the number 1 defense in the league statistically, 13 or 14 points a game. But, hopefully we'll be able to score some points here down the stretch and get those numbers back towards the median.
What's the next step that Baylor needs to take in terms of being successful, just in how he's seeing things?
Yeah, third downs. We got to sustain drives on third downs. I think him being able to make great decisions on third down. Are they dropping A? Are they blitzing 6? Are they playing zone coverage? Are they playing cover 1? Are they playing match? Like, he's got to be able to see some of that a little quicker. Right now he's just kind of going through his progression and, kind of like a young player, just kind of floating out there a little bit. But when you look at a lot of these quarterbacks we played, Horvath had to grow up, right? The kid in Memphis probably had 20 starts at Nevada and Memphis. You look at the kid at Tulane, went 10-2 at BYU last year, and he's probably started 20 games in his career. And then this kid's a third-year starter, so it's going to take some time. I mean, you can't speed up these progressions of young quarterbacks. I think he's doing plenty of stuff well. But third down, fourth down, red zone, I'd like to see him better situationally, just making decisions. Okay, if the hitch is open, let's not bypass it. Let's not get to the second progression. Let's see the coverage, get our eyes in the right spots, and make more on-schedule plays. The off-schedule plays are going to come because he's playing aggressive, but make more on-schedule plays.
Is there anyone else, because you brought up Mackay and the decision for the red shirt through this course of so many days, were there any other decisions made about just red shirt opportunities, or just mainly like, okay, we need to get these guys ready?
Yeah, I think it's more of that. The only guy that's come in voluntarily red shirted has been Mackay, and he played in 4, so I won't play him the rest of the year. And look, if that's the best decision for his career and our future, I got no problem with it. He didn't quit on the team. He's good. Mutual decision. I want to give players power. But just getting young guys ready. I mean, guys can play in 4 games. Let's have guys cover some kicks. Let's have guys get in on the punt return team. Just get some college reps under their belt, and see what they can do. See, I mean, some guys, when the lights come on, they're different players. And maybe we'll find a couple guys down the stretch. We did do some developmental scrimmaging last week with a lot of young guys. I'd love to see a Josh Smith emerge. We tried to target him early in the year. He didn't play well. He's not making competitive catches. So really want to try to get him going. Kelvin Washington, some guys like that, like, hey, maybe we can get some more spark with some different guys down the stretch.